We're back at crate training today. And he's not nearly as tired this time because our schedule did not work out that way today. But yes, break. He's getting very good at me just being able to hold my hand over it. Yes, break. Break. All right, since he's doing so well and just wants to kind of stay there, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Ryder. We're gonna add a word first. Ryder, bed. Ah, that was my fault. I said it right as he was jumping up on the couch. All right, let's try that again. Human error. Ryder, bed. Yes. Also a little problem on my part. You notice I put my hand out at the same time. Dogs will always respond to your hand signal before they respond to anything else. Break. Ryder, bed. Yes. Beautiful. That one was even just on habit. That was beautiful. I was watching one of the pro trainers, Michael Ellis. He was saying when he was teaching his dogs to do puppy push-ups, which is going from sit, down, stand in some combination like that. Good. He was trying to work on not using his hand signals and just doing verbals, and he watched some videos back of himself and realized that his dogs were still responding to the motions, but it wasn't the motions he thought of. He realized he was doing and like tilting his head and doing eyebrows and things, and that's what they were responding to, because when he did stone face down, they did nothing. So when I say dogs are responding to what your body is doing, I don't just mean you taught them what a finger point means. I mean everything. They are responding to absolutely everything that you're doing, from how you're doing it to, I was gonna say how you're doing it, but like physically how you're doing it, your emotional state, everything. Good boy. So we're gonna make it easy for him not to make a mistake. Yes, good. We're gonna close it for a minute. Good boy. So most likely by the time he gets done here, what crate training is going to look like is this. Getting him into the crate, and then occasionally checking back in on him, but just kind of hanging around in his general area for a little while. You can see he's already starting to paw at it, so I don't want to let him out right when he paws at it. But I also want to note that as Ryder. Bed. So come on this way. Thank you. Break. Ryder, bed. Yes. Break. So, like I said, it's going to take a little while for him to build that up. The duration without complaint builds up very slowly. Gotta make sure I don't have food in my hands yet. Ryder, bed. Yes. No hand signals anymore. If he's getting it fairly well on verbals, I can give him help One of the awesome things about having multiple ways to communicate it is you can give him help if your verbal cue by itself does not get there. So if at some point he's like, no, I don't feel like it right now, break. Ryder, break. Good. Awesome. So right now we'll work on this one a little bit more once he's actually slightly more tired, but we don't have a whole lot of time, so it's not going to be very much. But I wanted to show you how he's doing with everything else. Ryder, down. Yes. What we've been working on is food drops. So he doesn't have his collar on. We're going to drop a couple. Yes. Good. I'm specifically dropping them right next to my foot. Good. So that if he goes to grab them, yes, I can still cover them while he's still learning. What we don't want is him getting up and reinforcing himself. Break. Good. Awesome. But even with his collar off, we are still doing a pretty solid downstay, being able to drop food. I've finally gotten him to be able to walk across. I can put him in a down and walk across the room. We're working on larger distances than that, but that's what he can consistently do, is about the 30 feet across the room. Hi. Our schedule did not work out today for getting on a proper outing, but we went out on a walk this morning and we did some stuff. But since we only had a little bit of time to work together, I wanted to use it all to get him exercised and worked on here and not waste 30 minutes going there and back and having to do all of the setup process and all that. It just wasn't worth the amount of time. I'm sure we'll practice it, but practicing with the door at different versions of open, especially once he gets really good at it, being able to have it like mostly closed and have him open it himself to get in is really nice. But that's one of the lowest goals on. I don't know if you could see that very clearly on there, but he started just a little bit huffing and puffing at me saying, hey, I'm in my bed, can I get snacks? Ryder, bed. Ryder, bed. So this little tipping and twitching is yes. A lot of people get stuck when they start doing that little flutter where they're sitting and standing and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're kind of doing anything but doing exactly what you said. Break. But in this initial learning stage, if you don't let them do that and you keep helping them, then you end up getting into the habit of, oh, I need help to do that. You end up with a dog who doesn't know how to figure it out on their own. So we want to make sure that we're giving him little pauses. We're picking the right times. Doing that, pausing a couple reps ago and not helping him out wouldn't have been great. Right now, he did it so many times consistently that I was like, he's got it. He just needs a second to process. So picking and choosing when the right time is in his stages of learning is one of the important things to pay attention to. Come here. Come here, cutie pie. Hi.